Hello, good Sunday morning, everybody. It is June the 8th, and I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather from the 270 and for the 270 area code and beyond. So, how about that frog strangler yesterday? How about that? Wasn't that? Oh, wait, didn't happen. I hate when that happens. Yeah, it was like it's like Clara Peller. Remember the old Wendy's commercials? Where's the beef? It's like, okay, where's the rain? Supposed to be frog stranglers and gully washers and all that kind of stuff. Well, it just didn't happen for us yesterday. A lot of the energy was spent far to our south in parts of southern Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. I mean, they had some rough storms there yesterday. And I even talked about it, and I should have caught myself then when I did this podcast yesterday. I know that with that kind of setup, that not only would we not have a severe weather threat, but because of all that energy going south of us, that the only thing we would really come away with is maybe a little bit of light rain. And that's all we had yesterday. I mean, just mere drops in the bucket. It was not like Friday. It was a different day. It was cloudy. There were a couple of times when the sun did try to come out, but there just wasn't enough of anything there to do anything. So the frogs were spared all across southern Kentucky in the 270. Yeah. So is that going to be the case today? Well, let's take a look. Here is the view live from the Plano cam, and the current time 10 past 9 a.m. Central Time, Sunday, June 8th. Cloudy. You can see the clouds drifting there. Some pretty nice upper winds. Some of the winds are coming down to the ground. You can see some of the trees swaying in the distance there, and the crepe myrtle that's in front of my window uh, from time to time will sway back and forth with a little breeze. As we're looking northeast, the winds are blowing from the west, looks like a little maybe southwest. So there's even a little bit of blue that tries to come through at times. We're on the side of the front where things are just kind of shut off. There's a little bit of rain out there this morning, but nothing that's going to contend for gully washer status, and certainly not frog strangler status. It's just not there. It's all someplace else. Today it's going to be Texas and maybe parts of Arkansas, where the worst of the weather is going to be set up today. And again, that just robs us of the energy. Not that I'm saying that we want that. We certainly don't want any more severe weather. It's just, when you predict the rain and all the models tend to lean toward that, and you're like, yeah, yeah, okay, I see the rain. And it just doesn't happen. It's like, oh, okay. Um, so there is a little bit of rain out there that I'll show you right now, as a matter of fact. Let's go to the current radar, and there it is, looping in motion. And you can see that anywhere from Glasgow to Edmonton, getting some of the shower activity. It's light. There's not much going on there. All of it is pushing off to the south and east. Let me roll that into motion once again and draw on here where it's going. There you see arrows pointing. It's almost like in a southeasterly fashion. These showers are moving through here at 9:12, the current time on this Sunday morning. So yeah, some of you are getting a little bit of light rain, but this is nothing back to the west, really. It's just pretty quiet. All right. Yesterday's high was 80. We did have a few showers, 5 degrees below normal, which is 85, low of 71. And there's your drop in the bucket. Certainly not a frog strangler, certainly not a gully washer. 1/100th of an inch of rain at the Bowling Green Airport. We're talking about a drop in the bucket, pretty much. Just not much. Yeah, whatever. This goes back, I harken back to on one of my podcasts, maybe last week, I said, to me, it just seems like the computer forecast models are just off. They're just not, they're predicting one thing and we get something different. They're not doing a very good job of honing in on the specifics, on those little details that make all the difference in the world with the outcome. So I'm just not trusting them. I'm going to just start, uh, well, not start, but I'm just going to go more with my gut than anything else because the stuff I'm seeing is just not verifying, and it's just I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's because of the cuts at the weather service. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's anything else, but the models are just not honing in on those things that need those behavioral aspects of the atmosphere that need to be looked at. It's just going on normal patterns, and this is not a normal pattern. Um, this whole spring has not been a normal pattern. And so I think the models are just confused. They're just computer models, and there may be some artificial intelligence thrown in there. I don't know. I know that the Weather Service is looking to implement that eventually, but I don't know how much is in there in the mix. But there's just something off about all this. So that's why it has me just guessing, or wondering, hey, what's happening here? Just some of this stuff just doesn't is not panning out. Forecast accuracy is getting harder uh, to do for some reason, and it has nothing to do with budget cuts or any of that. I think it has to do with more the way the age of the models, and just it's not recognizing this current pattern that we're in. That's just my guess. All right, so I'm going to try to do my best to work around that and just go with what I see. Some of the best forecasts are done by mere observation, looking at what's happened, what is happening right now to determine what's going to happen. Just the way the atmosphere is behaving, and I use that word behaving. Is it misbehaving or is it behaving, and how is it behaving, and how it's maybe going to behave? All of that you got to factor in. So here's a look at Kentucky mesonet temperatures as of 9:17 Central Time on this Sunday. You've got mainly low 70s across the area. Moisture, oh, we've got it, upper 60s to low 70s. So, the dew points are close to the air temperature. So you've got, you know, 90 to 100% relative humidity. And there you see that. Lots of 96s, 99s, 94s, 92. Yeah, that's your relative humidity in percentage. How much rainfall past 24 hours? Look at this. I made a specific graphic. I thought, okay, I want to do this graphic for my podcast that shows like a frog on a lily pad trying to hold a leaf over its head like an umbrella because it's going to be a frog strangler. It wasn't even close. Reminds me of that email that I got a few days ago. Y'all always get it wrong. You just big liars. And you use those terrible words to scare everybody. Well, they're not completely wrong. Yeah. Okay. So, so we didn't, 500ths, almost a tenth of an inch here in Warren County. Some places didn't get anything. Others just got mere drops in the bucket. Just a drop or two. That's it. And my wife and I went out 68. We went west. We went out west 68, went all the way over to Cadiz. Then we turned around, came back, and I thought, maybe it's raining somewhere else, but it's just not raining here. Not much. And there you see, it was just hardly anything anywhere. You have to go way up here into north central Kentucky, places like Bath County. They took a bath in Bath County with 2.66 inches of rain. Wow. Rowan County, Moorhead, Kentucky, 2.21, over 2 inches in Winchester, that's in Clark County, and even closer to Louisville, but Shelbyville picked up 1.31. So this is where the heaviest of the rains fell yesterday, and some of this was this morning. Let's look at winds. Winds, as I showed you, are coming mainly from the west, a little southwest at times this morning, and then northwest to the west. To the west of us, winds are more northwest. So it's that frontal boundary that's causing us to have different direction of wind. But look at the breezes here coming in from 12 to 15 to, I don't see a 20, well, close up in Muhlenberg County, a breeze to almost 20. Same thing in Hopkinsville. And then they become more westerly. And it's all because of where the front is this morning that's keeping things coming in from the west and a little northwest. Let's go to the severe weather threat, which is not much of a threat. Not today. As you can see, we're sandwiched in between two areas of severe weather risk, the Virginias, the Carolinas to the east, and then parts of Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas to the west. And as I mentioned, the severe weather threat today is really going to be centered in Texas and Oklahoma. We're just kind of in this donut hole of nothing going on. So today, no severe weather risk. It's going to stay cloudy. It's going to stay a little damp and a shower every once in a while. But tomorrow, we've actually got a cold front coming through. In fact, it's going to come through tomorrow morning through the afternoon. And so we are lined up right along that cold front for a level 2 slight risk for a few strong to severe storms tomorrow midday through the afternoon, aligned with the cold front. So what are the risks tomorrow? Tornado threat, not a whole lot to even be concerned about. We can never say zero, though. Here's a damaging wind threat. Yep, it's there. And somewhat of a hail threat. So damaging wind potential seems to be the number one threat of any severe weather that gets going tomorrow with the passage of the cold front. Tuesday, nothing there. We go through the rest of next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, next Sunday, nothing. It's all blank. All right. Now let's go to the maps and show you that cold front coming through tomorrow. Actually, here is the current situation with the front just to the west. That's why we're getting winds coming in from the northwest behind that boundary. Out ahead of it, this is where the shower activity is going on this morning. Now, the front is just going to kind of fade away for a little bit, but the the main system is back to the west, and it's not going to come through until tomorrow. So here is 7 o'clock tonight, early tomorrow morning, just after midnight. Here it comes. So by the time you get up in the morning and go to work, we will see some patchy fog, some clouds. Showers will start back into western Kentucky and move east through the morning. Here, 7 a.m. We'll begin to see showers and thunderstorms here in Bowling Green and much of the 270 as the front comes in. It will try to stall just a little. I don't think it's going to stall that much, though, because this system should pass on through pretty quickly. Here we go into 7 p.m. Monday evening. The front is now past us, and any severe weather threat will go away, and most of the rain will go away. Here's Tuesday, dry. Wednesday, dry, thanks to high pressure. Thursday, dry. Until we get into, say, Thursday night late and into Friday. And then here comes another surge of Gulf moisture, warm front, which is going to warm us back into the mid and upper 80s as we head into next weekend. Here's Saturday with pretty good coverage of rain, a few thunderstorms, muggy air. And then 1 week from today, next Sunday, okay, the data is not there, but I do think we'll still see some shower activity next Sunday off of that system. So what about the blender? The blender is showing under the clouds and the showers, low 80s next few days until that cold front, that system finally comes through on Monday, tomorrow. We start to moderate into the mid and upper 80s the middle of next week. Could we hit 90? Maybe. Maybe. Still haven't hit 90 officially for this year. We're going to maintain the mid and upper 80s for much of next week into the following weekend and the middle of June, which these numbers are right where we should be for high temperatures in the middle of June. Here's your graphical 7-day forecast as seen on News 40. 82 today, tomorrow. There's that next system coming through with a 70% chance of rain. Actually, that's now gone up to 90%. We'll see if it actually happens. I know after today, I'm just kind of like, I trusted the models too much. I did. Something wonky is going on with these models. They're just, I don't know. Anyway, 83 Tuesday, we begin to dry out. 85 Wednesday. Now, Thursday is when we'll begin to see the next wave of showers. The best chance of rain will come next Friday into Saturday. All right. That should do it for this edition of 270 weather. Of course, I'll be back in the morning at 6 a.m. on News 40 Sunrise, and then noon on NBC 40 tomorrow. And then this next podcast, your 270 weather, will come sometime tomorrow evening. In the meantime, enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for watching as always. God bless.